Is it safe to use the video conferencing app Zoom? The answer is yes, but no. The best way to make sure that you are safe is that you know what you're doing and you make sure you set up your Zoom account properly. If you want to know more about keeping your Zoom meeting safe, you are in the right place. Let's go. Before we continue with this video, I would like to show you my YouTube statistics. In the entire lifetime of this channel, only 3.1% of you are actually subscribed. You could help me increase that number by subscribing to my channel for more cool tech tips and videos. Let's continue with the video now. Here's 5 tips to keep your Zoom meetings safe. Tip number 1. Don't share your Zoom details on public forums. This is probably the most crucial tip for ensuring your meeting is secure. Sharing a link to a meeting on a public forum makes it much more susceptible to hackers. Most Zoom meetings have a public link that, if clicked, allows anyone to join. This makes it easy for trolls and hackers to collect these links and share them with groups with specific intention of Zoom bombing or causing other problems. The same goes for sharing meeting IDs. Therefore, avoid putting your meeting link in public places to help mitigate the risks. Tip number 2. Use a registration system. Another way to avoid putting up a public link or meeting ID is by using a registration system instead. Tools such as Eventbrite can be used to register the details of those who want to attend a session, and then the registered attendees can be sent a private message with the link and password in order to gain entry to the meeting. A link to this is in the description below. This definitely adds some extra steps but essentially enables additional safety gates for event hosts to monitor who is being added to the meeting, particularly with so many large and public events going virtual in this time of the pandemic. Tip number 3. Set up a waiting room. The waiting room is another feature that will become a default setting as part of Zoom's latest security measures, and it is an excellent way of monitoring who is coming into a meeting. Here is how you can do it. When scheduling a meeting, go to your settings and click Advanced Options. Here you will have the ability to enable waiting room, which means that when participants do join this meeting, they will be added to a virtual waiting room where the host of the meeting can identify participants before allowing them to join the call. The waiting room also gives you a chance to set up your meeting properly before participants enter, such as having the right screen shared if necessary and ensuring your participants' powers are managed in advance. The link to see how you can do this is in the description below. Tip number 4. Restrict participant powers. You can restrict the powers of your participants during meetings, which can often be a good practice in general, but more importantly will restrict the powers of any troublesome entrants. For example, you can mute all attendees upon entry to ensure that there are no disruptions. This can be done while scheduling the meeting under advanced options in the same place you set up for the waiting room, or it can be done once you have entered the meeting. The bar along the bottom of the screen allows you to manage participants. You can mute everyone on the call or prevent them from unmuting themselves. You can also ensure that only the host has the ability to share their screen by clicking the arrow next to the share screen button. You can also restrict chat options if that is not needed, or limit chatting to the host only. Depending on how large your Zoom meeting is, you may need to give other people hosting permissions to allow them to moderate, mute or monitor participants' behavior. This is particularly important if the original host is also the one who will be busy speaking during the meeting. However, co-hosting will require at least a pro Zoom account. Tip number 5. Try an alternative. If you're not happy with Zoom, then you've got plenty of other options to turn to. For example, Google Duo. It recently updated the maximum video group size from 8 to 12, and it's available on mobile devices and the web, and video and audio calls are end-to-end encrypted. This means that even Google can't peek at the data. For those of you with colleagues, family and friends who are all on Apple devices, FaceTime is an option. Group video chats of up to 32 people are supported, end-to-end encryption is turned on by default, and the apps are simple to use across iOS, iPadOS and macOS. The downside is, of course, that no one on Windows or Android can join in. WebEx from Cisco is another group video calling tool that supports end-to-end encryption. It's a little business focused, but you do get support for video calls for up to 100 people and lots of the same features that Zoom brings to the table. The free tier is quite generous at the moment, though we'll have to wait and see if it remains so after the current global pandemic has passed. That's all I have for now. Stay safe on the internet. Also, be sure to like and subscribe for more tech content. See you in the next video. Bye!